Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, much love to you. How are you doing out there? It is a beginning of the week for all of us here. It is a second day on the Creator's calendar. Now, for those of us who are in Torah, Sunday usually is a work day. It's usually a day that we work, we do our stuff, and it is there's nothing wrong with doing that because Sunday is not a day that has been ordained as a day of worship. It is it's the day of the sun, right? And when we are looking at this world of occultic practices and all of these false deities that everybody is serving, it is really, really amazing when you run across those who are willing to serve Yahuwah Elohim. Now, for those who don't know who that is, you would probably know Yahweh, as God. That is the name over 7,000 times. They removed the name of our Creator out of Scriptures. And we have commandments that say we need to honor our Creator. We need to talk about His name, right? It is very, very important. And so when you look at why has the name of our Creator been removed over 7,000 times in Scriptures, and why did they replace the name of our Messiah in the year 1611 to be precise, with another name? Our Messiah's name was never called Jesus. He wasn't called Isis. He wasn't called Son of Zeus. He was called Yahushua. You can also say Yahshua. You can also say Yeshua. These are all various forms of the same name. It's just a little bit different, but it is a lot closer than when we say Jesus. And so if there's only one name under heaven by which man may be saved, and we have the wrong name, well, that's a problem. But do I think because those who call our Messiah Jesus, they won't be saved? No, I don't think that at all. I don't think our Creator is like that. I think that if you are in covenant with our Creator, and even if you just call Him God, I truly believe that you will be saved, or you will find salvation. Now, salvation is one of these things that in the religious world that we live into, everybody's got the recipe for. Everybody's going to get you saved. The Catholics can save you. You can do penance, and you can do all this kind of stuff. You can have the holy water tossed on you. You can have a little man in a box absolve you of your sins. There's salvation there according to man. The Mormons will have you saved by being baptized and being popped into their little kingdom and doing the work and baptizing for the dead and all that. That's salvation in that religion. But again, as with both of these two religions, neither of what I'm saying exists in Scriptures at all. None of that. And so you continue on, and all the Christians, as a Baptist, my mom had us saved. We were saved as a little tiny single mom and child. We were saved. We always went to church. Everybody was saved. We went to church camp. We were saving people here and there. We went to the Billy Graham crusades when I was a kid, and he was saving people. They had all this pizza out there for everybody. Everybody's eating pizza, and everybody was just saved. And that's one of these happy-go-lucky things that everybody has the recipe for salvation. But if your cookbook is the Scriptures, then somehow we've come astray. Somehow we have not done things right. As you read through Scriptures, from the beginning of the Scriptures to the end, there's one theme and one theme only. If you will obey the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of our Creator, He will be our Elohim Most High. He will be our God. He will be the one that is going to lead us into our promised land. Now, the promised land isn't the same as the promised land from back in the days, but the same kind of extraction that they got. I believe that we will have that same kind of supernatural extraction when that day comes. I don't know if it's in my lifetime. I don't know if it's in the lifetime of my kids. All we can do is sit and watch the signs and the seasons and things around us that our Messiah said to watch for and to be ready. And being ready isn't living in this fake salvation. Being ready isn't having this this fakery in so much that we have put our entire soul's existence into man-made dogmas, man-made traditions, man-made things that aren't what Scripture says. So when we take a close look at the Scriptures from the beginning to the end, and we decide that we want to be one of these people, then the first place that we start is by simply reading the Scriptures. We start at page 1, and we give ourselves a foundation. Just like when we build a building, just like when you put a foundation down, you don't put the foundation down with a bunch of weak cement. You don't put this stuff in there with half-mixed cement and stuff that is going to crumble and not be a strong base. So if we want a strong base in our lives, then we need the foundation of the Torah. We need Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy and written on our hearts so that we are not able to be deceived, so that we are not able to walk in iniquity and not even know it. And that's the thing about the Christian religion is they believe that, you know, and it's I talk to so many guys in prison, and they say the same thing. When they were in religion, they could do what they want. They could basically just ask Jesus for forgiveness. And that is the premise of the Christian religion. It's all about forgiveness, grace, mercy, and that's it, right? You have faith, mercy, forgiveness, and that will give you salvation. And they will clearly tell you without a shadow of a doubt that nobody is able to pluck that out of the hand of our Creator. And so everybody's going around with this false salvation, false understanding of what the Scriptures say. And when we take our very last breath, ignorance is not bliss, because we will be standing in the fire. When our Creator asks us, why didn't we take 1 second to look into these Scriptures and to try to understand something more than we have? We're able to walk through these lands, and as human beings, we just think we're such amazing creatures. We have built these great buildings. We have built these great roads. We are flying through the air. We fly up in the air and pretend we go to the moon. We fly up in the air and pretend we have satellites. We fly up, we do all of these marvels. But yet, at the end of the day, every single thing that we do has come from the brain power that our Creator has given to us. So man is able to either take this amazing build of humanity and the human experience of having the ability to take a deep breath and the air flowing through your nostrils, to the ability that you have 2 little sockets in the top of your eyes, in the top of your head, that you're able to process data faster than any set of the computer, right? We can look at the world in real time and scan and write to our little hard drive. They still don't have computers like this. Even solid state drives in computers cannot write and process as much as a human being that is there. Now you can take data center after data center after data center and thousands of computers and lump them all together and say, okay, well, we can do this. Yeah, but you can't do it with a single computer. You can't do it as we are. Our Creator has built the most amazing computer system, and that's us. And He's given us a brain, and He's given us the abilities to reason. He's given us the abilities to read, to learn, to understand. And if we will not take a single moment in all of our 120 years that we have been given to try to figure out the way forward, then we're going to be sent to the darkness. We're going to be going to the realm that we don't want to go to. So it is with that I'm always encouraging everybody out there to seek our Creator and take that breath of fresh air. Seek His ways. You won't find His ways in religion. You're not going to find His ways by listening, even me. Find His ways by reading the Scriptures and reading them slowly and meticulously and praying. Fast and pray, fast and pray, fast and pray. And it is one of these things that when you guys take that avenue and you are willing to find the truth, that you're fasting for the truth, our Creator will provide you the truth. Are you unsure about the path forward? Do you not get what you should be doing? That's why we always need to read the Scriptures first. And when we read them and slowly, we will get the way forward. So my friends and family, I have nothing but love for you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are. And I really, really appreciate the time that we can all sit and just discuss Scriptures. There are so many of you out there that I cannot wait to meet in the kingdom to come. I cannot wait to see you guys, to hear your guys' stories, to hear your guys' progress, to hear coming out of Babylon in the story where it is, however it is you ended up getting where it is, because most of us have never had the opportunity of growing up with a Torah-based observant family that is truly just Torah-based. Everybody has all these other traditions, and it's not just Torah-based. So when we're reading Scripture, we're reading only through the lens of Scriptures, nothing else. We don't want we don't want what the zoos have. And for those who don't know what the zoos are, I'm not saying the J word anymore because I keep getting owned on YouTube. So I'm saying zoos, and I will continue on. I'll hopefully train you guys to understand what I'm trying to say when I say the zoos. But the zoos have their own group of doctrine. They have hundreds of others, and we don't want that. We want Scriptures and only Scriptures. So my friends and family, without a shadow of a doubt, let us get rolling onto this. This is a limited edition print, Yah Scriptures. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. We just got the final proof for our small little paperback version that is coming out. It will be available in just a couple of months. It's much smaller, takes far less time to print than this big blue book. And so for everybody that has participated in Yah Scriptures, that has helped us with stamps, that has helped us with our prisoners, that has helped buy these Scriptures, I can't thank you enough. You guys have enabled us to open doors in prisons, and every single day I get letters from brothers and sisters in chains, and not every fishing trip is a good fishing trip. Say, for example, my fishing trip into Arkansas it's been hard. It's been very, very hard. Arkansas death row has 25 people in it. Over half of them have already gone through all their appeals. So out of the 25, you already have 13 or so people that are literally waiting for that moment they are going to die. And what they just did in Arkansas is they just wrote into law that they can kill you with nitrogen. And so basically I jumped into death row right about the time that these guys that already have no hope basically think they're all going to be executed in August. And so it has made this fishing trip a little dark. It has made it a very, very strange endeavor. I have encountered very aggressive brothers, and I understand. There's guys that have said pretty evil things to me. They'll just unleash the fury. And I've never seen this before in all the years that I have been working in the prison system and in the death row system. I have never run into a group of guys so angry and so aggressive that they will take somebody who's trying to show them love or give them a piece of love and just get as violent as they could possibly get. And I try not to get offended, because I try to put myself in this situation. And it's not a good situation. Sitting in a cell, solitary confinement, some of these guys for 20, 30 years, there's no hope as it is. And as you get closer to a death day, inside of a system like this, they have every reason to be crazy, every reason to be super aggressive. And so I'm praying for all my brothers in Arkansas. And I ask that you guys will pray for all my brothers in Arkansas as well as I try to fish. Now, out of the 25, I have already come across 4 candidates that are listening. 4 guys that I've made it through. I've run into the Christian guys that have scolded me and yelled at me and told me that they love to hear from me, but their spirit is in disarray when people come at them like this, and I get lectured all the time from these guys. And so got to have some thick skin when you're doing this, and I guess I am the guy for the job. I do get offended. I do get I guess I'd say I get hurt, but I understand that these guys are they don't hate me. They don't like my message, and they don't want to hear anything, and they've given up all hope. And so any prayers that you guys can put out to these guys, I would appreciate it. Any prayers you can put out to this Yah Scriptures prison ministry, I would really, really appreciate it. I think the more people that fast for Yah Scriptures Prison Ministry, I think is going to make things more effective. I'm going to begin a longer style fast, and I'm going to try to commit a lot of my time and the fast and the prayers of that fast to my brothers in chains, that I'm better than what I am, and I'm more effective than what I am. And the more offended that I get, the less effective that I am. And so I have to be able to take the punches, and I have to be able to get my head down and take some wounds to get through to those ones, because I've had those people that reject me completely before, and they're very angry with me. And with enough time, you can give them this love back, that they realize that you're just not there for some con, or you're not there for some scam. You're truly there because you love them. And so, guys, we're always needing stamps. If you go to yahscriptures.com, there's a spot on there you can get stamps. It's just a non-stop endeavor. It's 44 cents at least to write these guys, and you have to affix a stamp with it because most of them are indigent. And so we're talking, 75, 80 cents per letter going out. But guys, I stuff these letters completely full of everything. I write every last character that I can write in these and get my money's worth on these letters, so I can send in scriptures. I can send in hope and something. And so for those of you guys that can help us, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for everybody that's been involved. And let's get into this. Let's get into our reading. And we finally made it out of chapter 17. Woo! So we're into chapter 18, which this is when this is some troubling times with Messiah. And so as we read through this, please understand that our Messiah didn't have a good life. As a lot of us can say, yeah, we've lived a good life, or we've had our ups and downs. Messiah had lots of downs, lots of people, and the same kind of rejection that I feel, that gut punch into my stomach when these guys write back just horrible, belligerent things. This is the same stuff that our Messiah had to deal with every single day on a whole nother level, in person, right? It's one thing for these guys to unleash the fury on me via email, but these guys were releasing the fury on our Messiah every single day. And we'll have to ask him what he thought of life, what he thought of the existence, and having to be who he had to be and do the walk that he had to walk, because he was our example of how to carry ourselves with dignity, how to carry ourselves in obedience, how to carry ourselves in love. And every one of these stories that we get out of the book of the Nazarene and out of anywhere that our Messiah is, you see his heart, and his heart is kind, and you see there's a gentleness about him. And that's the thing, is he's crazy strong. He is crazy powerful. He could call down legions of messengers to defend and to destroy and to wipe out everything, but he never did. He was able to walk the walk and do the walk and not end up with road rage along the way. So here we are, Book of Khalidi, Nazarene, chapter 18, verse 1. The next day, Yahushua returned to Jerusalem with 3 of the emissaries, and while within the precincts of the great Hayekel, some scribes and counselors of the Hayekel came up to him and said, "By whose authority and by what right do you behave as you do?" Yahushua said, "Before answering your question, let me ask you one. When Yochanan immersed in water, was this divinely inspired, or did it originate in the minds of men?" This was not a question they could answer, for if they replied it was divinely inspired, Yahushua could justly say, "Why then did you not listen to him?" If they replied it originated with men, it would arouse the hostility of the people who believed Yochanan to be divinely inspired. When they declined to answer, Yahushua said, "Neither need I answer you." A Kohen and a priest said to Yahushua, "Tell us who you really are." And he answered, "I am the son of Elohim and the servant of man, who of himself can do nothing, but being filled with the power of him who overshadows me, one to whom all things are possible." This is a single verse that answers a tremendous amount of things for us. Is there a Trinity? Is the Father, the Son, and the Ruach HaKodesh all one entity, or are there multiple entities? Well, if we want to look at our Messiah and know that he's not going to lie to us, he gives us the answer. Now, if you want a Messiah who is able to lie and who's able to deceive, then that's the Trinity Messiah. That's the one who is Elohim and is the Son. Because nowhere in Scriptures do we see this. His answer to who he is, he doesn't say, if he was Elohim, he would say, I am Elohim. And these guys would probably pick up stones and try to kill him right there. But where he said he is the Son of Elohim, that's who he is. And he's also the servant of man. And that's incredible. When you wield this type of power, when you come from a lineage, from the very tippy top, when you are the prince, and you have your father who is the king, and you will come to serve your king's created entities, that's incredible. That is the Messiah that we need. That is the Messiah we absolutely need, and we have him. And so, continuing on, he also again clarifies that he is filled with the power of him who overshadows him. Who overshadows him? Well, his dad. His dad is the creator of everything. That is our Elohim Most High. Very clearly, Messiah says he is not God. He is not Yahuwah. 7. The Kohen said, the Ben of Elohim is not known to us, and the servant of man will not come as you have done, though we cannot understand this name. Some of the people say, you are Hamashiach, who will deliver us and reign over us. But he will come with manifest power. Again, this is the crazy thing about the way our Creator works. Our Creator works in so mysterious ways to us. They're not mysterious to him because everything is clear. He knows what's up. But to us and to these people, they're looking for their emancipator. They're looking for their land king, the one who's going to rise them all up and march against the Romans and free themselves, free Jerusalem, and become like back in the days of David. This is what they think is going to be happening. And so it's crazy, right? You have a Levitical priest, the Kohen, and the priest that comes up and he goes, the son of Elohim is not known to us. So there's Messiah and having his rough road, right? Rough days. Every single day I don't think was a wonderful day. I hope there were days of peace for our Messiah. I hope he had some Shabbats where he wasn't being picked apart by people, but that's what he was here for. He was here to show that he could do it and walk the Torah perfectly as he does it. And part of this testing is you and I, at some level, when people are messing with us over and over and over, we're gonna pop off. We might pop them in the jaw. We might knock them to the ground. People can only be pushed to a certain amount before you can't take it anymore. And Messiah gets pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and prodded. They just tear at him, they pull at him, and he's always patient. He's always that man, our Messiah. It's amazing, this guy. Yahushua said, 8, this is a night of ignorance, and I come declaring the way of light. Whoever believes in me does not serve me, but serves with me. Okay, let's not go any further to this until we understand what this is. Guys, this is Trinity breaking stuff right here. Like, this entire reading that we have done right here has already broken the Trinity up 3 separate times. Because Messiah is either a filthy liar or he's telling us the complete truth. He says, whoever believes in him, if we believe in our Messiah, we're not serving him, but we're serving with him. He is our general in this army. His dad is the complete overall leader of everything. He has delegated his son to be the one who is doing the work, right? Who's doing all of the stuff. So if we're walking with our Messiah, we're walking as a team of the kingdom. We are walking as a people of the kingdom. This completely goes against Christianity. You have Christianity, and the only thing they have is they have Jesus. They don't fear Yahuwah. They don't fear his ways. They don't fear anything enough to get their lives in check that they may actually give a darn about what the creator of the universe wants. And so if you're serving alongside our Messiah, and our Messiah is clearly not serving himself, then who are we supposed to be serving? Well, that's our Elohim Most High. That's who we should be going with. And Messiah very clearly says this here. He is my brother in the cause of Elohim. The ones who are serving, right? Who's your brother? Who's your father? Who's your mother? Those who keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. He is my brother in the cause of Elohim. He who sees me sees the reflection of he who inspires me. Absolutely, right? We see the Torah made flesh. We see a gentle giant in our Messiah. We see the greatest power walking amongst mankind that we have ever physically seen quite like this. And he didn't wield the power like everybody thought he was going to wield it. He didn't come with swords and clubs and shields. He came with words. And he's trying to encourage everybody who's willing to seek our Creator, that the way forward is with a Messiah as we fight alongside of our Messiah, right? That is who he is. He who sees me sees the reflection of he who inspires me. I am the light of the world. If anyone hears my words but chooses to ignore them, I am not his judge, for I am not come to judge men, but to guide them. The light will not be with you for long, so hasten to it, lest you be left in darkness. Big stuff, right? The light of the world. Messiah is telling us to serve our Creator, to keep the Torah. The Kohanim said among themselves, perhaps he's harmless. Going into the courtyard where many people were gathered, Yahushua stood in a corner and spoke to any who would listen. And it was here he told this parable. A man planted a vineyard, equipping it with all things necessary for winemaking. Then he leased it and left it to live elsewhere. After the vintage season, the owner sent a servant to the tenants to collect the rent. But they laid hands on him, and after beating him up, sent him on his way empty-handed. The owner sent another, who was treated even worse, while the third man was killed. When no one else would go, the owner decided to send his eldest son, reasoning that the tenants would respect his authority. However, when the eldest son came, the tenants decided that if he were dead, no one else would dare to come. So they killed him and threw the body into a pit. Now, do you think the tenants' reasoning was sound? Of course, the owner came with those who meted out justice, and having put the tenants to death, gave the lease of the vineyard to others. This is the story of the parable of the vineyard, right? This is the same story that we hear over and over and over. That is it is amazing. What we have is our Messiah was directly confronting these guys that were there. He is that son that came, and he was that son that they killed and they stuck in the pit. And so it's amazing. And this is, the book of Khalidi, it reiterates scriptures. It goes over and over and over. And for those who don't think that the book of Khalidi scriptures, I can't find anywhere in here that I wouldn't consider this text scriptures. Continuing on. Yahushua also told other parables, and when the self-righteous ones and false parashim realized that most were directed against them, they considered ways to silence him. But as he was popular with the people, they decided it would be better to leave him alone. Yahushua taught that the greatest enemies of man and the greatest opposition to the coming rule of Elohim were not the obvious evildoers and criminals, but the hypocrites, self-deceivers, and self-centered. Those who are the true enemies of men, the festering evil in their midst. Yet they cannot see themselves for what they are, and have many ways of justifying themselves. For Yahushua said of those, they sit before well-filled tables condemning the crimes of those who are hungry. They sleep on soft beds and wallow in worldly luxuries, but their hearts are closed and their faces hardened towards those who steal and even murder. Yet I tell you, their own thoughts conceive and engender much greater wrongs. Neither are those who associate with them free from guilt. All right, so a lot of stuff to take into this right here. This is one of these, the leaders. The leaders are, it doesn't matter what leaders you look at. You can look at the leaders of the zoos of today. You can look at the leaders of the zoos of back in the day. You can look at the Christian leadership. Look at all those that are up in these pulpits that are sitting there with their well-filled tables condemning the crimes of those who are hungry. There's a lot to be said right here, right? We absolutely have to check our hearts. We hear what Messiah says here, and that part of this is that these people's hearts are closed. What can we gather from this? What can we glean from this? How do we decipher this? Well, one thing that we could look at is that we need to be different than these people. We need to make sure that we do not end up in this verse that we are the ones with the closed hearts and faces hardened towards those who steal and even murder. So what is this saying? Well, it says that we need to love all of those around us. We need to not be teaching doctrines of men. We need to be making sure that if we are trying to attempt to help others, that we're not murderers in our heart. That with our hate, that we are not murderers. And we know from scriptures that it's easy to fall into sin. It's easy to fall into contempt. And guys, walk in these lands, it is very, very, very hard. And it is one of these things that we are tested all the time. And I will a lot of times end up sitting on the side of my bed at the end of the day, shaking my head going, wow, I really botched the day of testing. I have really, really botched this. And, you look at it and you can go, wow, how did this get to this point? What have I done wrong? How do I correct this for the next time? And every single day we need to pray and we need to fast and we need to give our heart, mind, and soul to our Creator so that He can guide us and that He can direct us, and that when we take this very last breath, that we wake up on the right side of the kingdom. We don't want to be with the grime. We don't want to be with those that have rejected the Torah, that have rejected our Messiah, and they've rejected our Elohim. We want to be the ones that are embracing the kingdom to come, embracing the scriptures, embracing the life that our Creator has given to us, and giving Him thanks for giving us an opportunity to walk these lands and to be able to be tested. I thank Him every single day for that same breath of life that I have, because I never know when I'm going to breathe my last. And I have, as a candidate of Babylon, growing up in Babylon, it's a testament to the strength of our Creator's ability of building human beings that I'm even with you guys today. There's been so much in my life that I have done so wrong to ever get to this point to where I can even tell you guys that, hey, it came from a worse place than it is now, and every single day I'm trying to get a little bit better. I'm trying to resolve things in my life, fix anger problems. I've talked to you guys about it a lot. Road rage. I will tell you, yesterday I have sat on the side of my bed at night after I got completely cut off within inches of a guy blowing out in an intersection, and I didn't take it well. I did not take it well at all, and I will not get into it, but let's just say I have a tremendous amount of work I need to do on myself every single day. And as I'm tested, and as our Creator tests us, and as the hands of Hasatan will gladly test those who He's trying to get on His side, we got to remain strong. We got to remain diligent. We got to never give up, right? It's easy to say, well, you know what? We're just never going to make this Torah right. We're never going to be able to walk this right, and just say, nah. But there's a difference between attempting and working out our sin and working out our salvation than just saying, the laws are on the cross. It doesn't matter. I can do what I want. Right? There's going to be a different level of judgment, and even if we are judged less because we have walked a good side of the Torah, that's going to be better than just completely living in ignorance and bliss and not caring about what our Creator has to say. So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Much love to you all. Shalom, shalom.